welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we will be doing yet another reading vlog. Honestly, I don't even know how to start these vlogs because usually I have a set of books that I would love to read in whatever time span that I decided on. And for this time, I am not sure how long I'm going to take you guys along. And I'm also in a reading slump, which means I don't know what I'm gonna read in the next few days. I don't know how long I'm gonna take you guys along, but all I know is that I do want to read books, but somehow reading just has not been fun recently because I assume it's probably because I have a lot of things going on, like the wedding is coming and just a lot of planning that needs to happen, a lot of things that needs to be arranged. So yeah, just a lot of things happening, but it's all fun things and I'm loving it. But also at the same time, I do want to try and rekindle back my love with reading. And in order to do that, I just need to start reading. Not that the amount of books that I read last month was less than the month before or so on and so forth. It's just more that I have not been enjoying reading as much, so obviously I want to try and go back into it. Although I did say that I do not have a TBR, I have a selected books that I think it might help me go back to loving reading again. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you a little bit, but I do want to start this one book specifically today because for finally once this year I'm not in the middle of any books, which feels quite good that I'm not in the middle of something, because I think the thing that is stressing me out is that I keep starting new books but not really finishing any of them. And now that I've finished all the books I'm currently in the middle of, I'm gonna just read slowly and one book at a time. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the pile. The last book I did finish is Wild Reference, and I think it was really good, and I want something along the same line. So I have picked up two books I think that could match a little bit. I know that's YA. I think it is YA. And I know these two books are not YA. It's adult fantasy, and I think I do want to read something a little bit more adulty, maybe. I don't know what I'm feeling. But I do have Crescent City, House of Sky and Breath, which is the second book in the Crescent City series by Sarah J Maas, and I have been wanting to read this, obviously because the fifth book in the ACOTAR series is coming out this October, and obviously before starting that, I want to be done with the whole universe, and I have this book and the book after, and then after that I will be finished with the Sarah J Maas universe. So I'm comfortable enough to continue to the sixth book in the ACOTAR series because I don't know, I don't want any spoilers. So, and I don't want that I'm missing a context in all sorts of way, because I think Sarah J Maas loves to put some Easter eggs here and there. And yeah, and if I don't know it, I will probably completely miss it because it's probably just gonna be 2 lines in the book. So yeah, I'm gonna pick this one up. I know this is quite a scary book to pick up in the middle of a reading slump because look at the size. I think it's over 1,000 pages. No, I lied. It's under 800 pages, but it's just so thick and scary. But I am kind of in the mood to pick this one up. That's why I'm just jumping at the opportunity, the feeling to read this. So I'll be doing that, hopefully. I don't know. And the next book that I do have for quite a while already, and I saw that the second book is out, and I feel like I'm missing out, and I want to read it. It is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. A lot of people said like, oh, do not read the first book without waiting for the second book to come out because it's a crazy cliffhanger and you want to have the second book on hand. So if there's one thing that helps me get out of a reading slump, is finishing a book that is so good and has a crazy cliffhanger. So that's why I'm putting this in here. Second book just came out, so I can feel like I'm not left out of the hype. But yeah, I'm excited to read this one. But If fantasies are not really what I'm in the mood for, I have two contemporary romances that I have picked out specifically for this, just in case I feel like, oh, maybe I want to read something else. I have over here, sorry. I have also it's just my June TBR. It is The Second Story Bookshop by Denise Hunter, and also Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. I have not read anything by either authors, and I'm super excited to just read some contemporary romances. If I'm not in the mood to read either genre, like contemporary romance and adult romantasy, I have one here that is high fantasy. This I have started and I have soft DNF'd last month because I feel like I have been reading a lot of fantasy and I just want to read something lighter. That's why I decided to not continue in reading this. But obviously, if I were to be in the mood to read this, I shall read this. So yeah, I have a lot of books that I could read that could help me get out of my reading slump. Now is the task of choosing what book I should start first. I feel like I do want to read a shorter book to just ease my way into it. I'm also in the middle of Emma M. Lyon's series. I'm currently on the third book, or I will be starting the third book. I could also start that, but I think I will probably want to start with The Second Story Bookshop or Our Perfect Storm. No, I'm so conflicted, but you'll see what I'm gonna choose, but I'm gonna think about it a little bit more. I am leaning towards this book though. So yeah, I think this vlog will be a lot of setting up for my what is it called? The Sisterhood of Traveling Journal. I keep messing up that name. Sisterhood of the Traveling Journal. I think I explained to you, I'm doing this with 3 of my good friends and I have a lot of pages to set up. I also have printed out so many things and so much more for this specific journal, so I'm super excited to do it. I think I do want to read first before I go on ahead and do a little bit of journaling. Although maybe I start with journaling. I'm not sure. But the plans, like I already said so many times in this vlog, is for me to get out of my reading slump. Tomorrow, probably not a lot of reading because I am going to a different city to just look around, and it's technically my friend's birthday and I'm just gonna be spending the day with her, and she loves to read. Maybe we will read, but I doubt it. It's a birthday. It's her day. It's her birthday. I don't know if she wants to read. I'll bring the book. I think for that though, I will probably bring the Kindle. So we shall see. But yeah, enough chit-chatting. I'm gonna go on ahead, I think, with journaling. And then I think I want to clean out the kitchen a little bit. And obviously you guys are gonna come along. And we shall see when I get to reading. But as for right now, I'm not in the mood to read, so I'm not gonna force myself to read. So yeah, let's go ahead and journal for a little bit and then we can clean out the kitchen. I pretty much dismantled the whole kitchen. I just finished journaling and I had a second win. I felt like I could really tackle things. Sorry for the fan sound. I have a fan on over here because I just dismantled the shelf that you're currently in. It's dismantled. I am building a different shelf, but this shelf won't work. I don't understand why. I'm gonna wait for Patrick to come home and help me. And if you guys see the mess behind me, well, it was all over here. and I have to figure out some kind of storage solution. Honestly, no idea. Yeah, so it's been fun. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out right now and donate some bits because we have been cleaning and we have been decluttering everything, and the bedroom is so organized now. Those are the bags of clothes that we are donating, and these are shoes. And yeah, so we have a lot of things to do. I know this is not usually the content that you guys see, but it is currently ever present in my life, so I'll continue doing this. Hopefully be done by tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for Patrick to come home and help me building this shelving unit because clearly I don't know how to do it. Anyway, I'm gonna go out and probably we'll see you back here soon. Probably think that this is a few seconds later. Nope. It is probably an hour later. I still am wrestling with this shelf, but I'm giving up. So, you know what? I'm just gonna start my book because clearly this is a sign for me to do something else and not this. Although I think I could do a little bit more organizing, but just gonna leave it until Patrick comes back, which hopefully is very soon. Okay, I'm quite sassy today, but let's go and take you guys over to the living room so we can start reading. What was the book that I chose? The Second Story Bookshop. Let's go. Great angle.
Yeah.
Better.
Now your cut.
But then oh wait, there's a stool.
Stand on the stool. Perfect.
I told them that I had difficulties building the shelf and then I had to wait for you to fix it up. Yeah. And did you?
I did. And this is where the camera is on right now.
Yeah. Wait, let me let us
top level of the shelf.
Show you. Oh, free toes. So, yeah, well, it doesn't look that impressive right now, but but we have successfully
built the shelf.
Yeah, and it looks kind of nice.
It does. I agree.
And you know another thing that I did?
What?
I finally convinced this guy to read a book with me. And the book we'll be reading is called
Poppy War.
No, it's called Bound by... You really don't know.
Rebecca Yarros.
No, Sable Sorensen. We will be asking for your opinion on what we think, okay, of the book. So, well, this vlog is not going to come out for 3 weeks, so you have time.
I got 3 weeks plus whatever the next vlog is time.
No, 3 weeks? Oh, 4 weeks. Yeah. It's 3 weeks and then I'll edit and then the next vlog will come out the week after. Any last words before we start cleaning up?
Tasha is literally standing on a stool to be able to be still shorter than me.
No, literally you can see I'm taller.
Bro, yeah, no, you can literally see if you go backwards that you become taller. Yeah, I just do this. Look, you're so short. Done. Yeah, don't lean on the thing, right? Yeah, to be close.
Anyway, let's go. This looks kind of nice though. Hello guys, this is me probably a week later. Just finished the only book that I have tried to read in the past week, which is, I don't have it anymore, but it's called The Second Story Bookshop. I don't even know if I have anything to say except that I don't know if I like it. I think it's quite, I just feel like all the story, all the character traits, they're all too fast, too sudden, and I don't know. I really did not enjoy the book. It's trying to be Love in Other Words, but it just, there's no character depths, no emotional depths between the characters. So I just feel like I'm not gonna dwell too much. That's why I think one of the reasons why I continued to be in my reading slump. And obviously I am gonna continue with my effort to get out of this reading slump, which is why I'm reading Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. I read the first 2 chapters, I think, and I'm so far loving it. So I will continue reading this, but I am also here to give you a book haul. I have not bought any books since April, is it? But although with this amount of books, I probably would have done better if I were to buy something in May. That means I wouldn't go as unhinged, but alas. Let's go ahead and take a look. Patrick decided to get me out of Green Gables, like the... Is this like collector's edition or something? I cannot stop talking about this book series because, I mean, I only read the first book, guys, so I don't know. I have been wanting this, and this has been in my wish list for quite a while since reading it, which is like last month. I got it. This is such an amazing book because it has like things, I guess, that is related to the book. For example, we have this beautiful map of Avonlea, which is so beautiful. I would love to hang this up one day. But yeah, there are like letters between Anne and the other people and the other characters, and I cannot wait to look through this. And then going along the same line of this series, I also bought the second book because I really want to start it this month. So yeah, I got Anne of Avonlea. I am so excited for the next book because, can you guys see this cover? Super excited. But yeah, I have Anne of Avonlea. And now let's move on to the huge haul that I have. I have been trying to get into more Christian nonfiction book, and I've heard about this author, and apparently this author is really good, so I decided to pick up one of her books, which is Victorious Emotions by Wendy Backlund. Moving on to the next one, I got Anne of the Island. As you guys could see, I'm quite obsessed with the Anne series. I think I have more Anne books here. We shall see. I indeed have it. It is Anne of Windy Willows. I could not find this book for so long because I thought the name is Anne of Windy Poplars Willows or something like that. But apparently it's just a different name. So I have this. Look at how beautiful. I'm so obsessed. I cannot wait. I think I have one more, which is Anne's House of Dreams. So yeah, I definitely went quite wild when it comes to the Anne series, but I'm excited to read them all. Moving on to the next ones. Okay, I actually got a few classics. Let's go with the 2 books that are not classics. I got Practice Makes Perfect. I've heard so many people liking Sarah Adams' writing style, and I've been trying to get back into contemporary romances, and since I got this in like a charity bookshop, and this was quite affordable. If I'm not wrong, it's like €3-4, and I thought, you know what? Let's get it. So I decided to get it. And the other one is a book that I would love to read this month. It is The Martian by Andy Weir, although it has those kind of cover where the first cover is like smaller than the actual book, which I don't know why. People love that apparently back in the day. Not back in the day, probably like a few years ago. So yeah, this is honestly in a pretty great condition considering I think online it did say that it was like in an acceptable state. I mean, the only thing that is quite questionable is like this folded edge, but other than that, pretty good. Now moving on to classics. I tried to get like different covers of classics that I like instead of just getting along with the like, what is it called? The Penguin English Library. Those are like my favorite style of classics, like covers wise. And I decided to get two, and the other two I decided to pick like a different one that I don't not necessarily love, but I like the idea of having or owning different classics. So the two that I got in the Penguin English Library, what is it called? One is Jane Eyre, which I would love to read, I think, in October. We shall see. By Charlotte Bronte. And then I got one, which is Emma by Jane Austen. I'm super excited to get into Emma. I have read Pride and Prejudice, really enjoyed it, so I want to get into more of her other books. So this is the attempt, number one, of getting into more of her books. And then, of course, I have one more, which is Persuasion by Jane Austen. This cover, I feel like is so meh, but I do want like different kind of covers, like I said, and this was so incredibly affordable. I think it was like €1, so I decided to get it, and it is quite short. I think the font is also incredibly small, so yeah, I think I quite enjoy the variety of classic covers that I do have. And the last one is, obviously I'm super late to the whole trend because the movie just came out. It is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I really like this cover, specifically Mr. Patri. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed this specific cover. I don't remember how it looks, the Penguin English Library one, but I thought it could be good having some variety, and especially I love the landscape, so yeah. Those are the books that I decided to get in the month of June. Although I think this is quite excessive, especially when it comes to the Anne series, because I don't know if I'm gonna love it, but if I love this just as much or slightly less than than the Anne series of the first book, Anne of Green Gables, I will enjoy this. And I know a lot of people said that one of their favorites are the second and the third, and then after that is just like enjoyable but not fan favorite. That is pretty much it for the book haul. I'm gonna try my best to read more. I'm trying to get out of this reading slump, and it is proving to be quite difficult. So although I have quite high hopes when it comes to Our Perfect Storm, we shall see. After this, I kind of want to go back to fantasy a little bit, so we shall do that. Okay, enough rambling. I'm gonna read something, I'm gonna let you guys know, and I'm not gonna let the updates be too far in between, because then I would have talked like for about 10 minutes now. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys to it, and then I will probably see you whenever I'm done with Our Perfect Storm, or if it's looking worse with my reading slump, then whenever I have some sort of update. It has been a while since I have updated you. I think I updated you on Saturday, and right now it is Thursday, which I had planned to film so much more in the span of this week, I guess, but I have been sick, just chilling in bed, doing nothing, recovering, because I will be doing half marathon next week, so I'm not taking any chance when it comes to my health, because I want to be perfect top shape by next week. I am feeling so much better already, and hopefully I don't sound too gross, but I am here to give you a huge update. I am finally out of my reading slump. This is the one thing that I would love to update you, like probably Monday, because on Monday I finished this book. It was a 6-star read. I even bought a hardcover copy of a romance book, which is not often for me. Usually if I really love a book, I would get it in hardcover to just like preserve it even more. But I got this one quite affordable. I think it is a used one from a charity shop, and although it's not perfect the condition, but I don't mind it at all. The inside though, also this is such a bright yellow. It's quite cute. And there's a quote: "This love was wild and obliterating." I would love to reread this again already. Obviously I'm not gonna. I was tempted to tab it, like all my tabs from the Kindle, to put it here, but maybe that's a job for a different day, because I don't know if I want to do that right now. But yeah, I finished this 6-star, immediately bought it. The next day I got it, so yeah, I have it now. And then because this book was such a 6-star read, I think I'm out of my reading slump. Now I'm in the middle of 2 books. I know I said that I'm gonna finish 1 more book, or I'm gonna finish 2 more books, I think, and then I will end the vlog. But I'm still not done with my second book, because I'm in the middle of 2 books right now. With Anne of Avonlea, I started yesterday, and I am quite further in. I am probably like in the last 100 pages. Yeah, 90 pages I have left. So my goal is to finish Anne today. And also, I am in the middle of reading, I don't know why the cover is like this, but it is All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. I'm just in the mood for like a very mystery thriller kind of romance. So I decided to pick up one of Catherine Cowles' books. And this is a reread, but I do not mind, because I am loving it, because it was also a 6-star read. Was it a 6-star? I think it was a 5-star read. And then now I'm 68% into the book / page 279. I'm about 120 pages off finishing this book. So I'm also planning to finish these 2 books. Whether I'm going to finish 200 pages tonight, debatable, but right now is 5:30, so it's not that late yet, so it's still doable to do it. And I'm not planning to do anything for the next couple hours except just lay here and read the books. So I will update you probably in the outro, probably tomorrow morning or later on tonight. But yeah, that is the plan for today, to just recuperate. Right now I'm just quite worried about my sickness, because I am doing a half marathon next week, like I said, and I'm nervous. I don't think I've ever run that long before. I've run like 17 kilometers, I think. I will maybe give you a clip next week on how it's going. It's in about a week and 2 days, so I'm trying to recuperate as much as possible so I can do on more runs soon and build my stamina back up. But yeah, anyway, enough update. I feel like I sound so gross. I would love to talk about Our Perfect Storm even more, but no, actually, let's talk about this before I end it off. I'm just gonna give you a quick summary on this. I think I love a childhood friends to lovers kind of deal. One of my favorite romance books of all time is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. It is childhood friends to lovers, but it's also a second chance romance. So what I'm discovering this year is actually I do love second chance romances. Although when it's done good, it's very good. When it's done meh, I hated it. So it needs to be quite good for me to like it, but I found out this year that I do love it. if it's done well. So yeah, this is not a second chance romance. This is definitely leaning on friends, like childhood best friends, and she never noticed. So we are following pretty much our two main characters. It is Frankie and George. They've been best friends since they were super tiny, I think like 8 or 7, and then now I think she's 30. She was about to get married, but not to George, to this guy called Nate. And George will be the best man. And all of a sudden, the day of the wedding, she got a note in her bed saying, "I'm sorry, I cannot do this," from Nate. So obviously the wedding got cancelled and everything, but they already booked their honeymoon to Tofino, I think. So they went, but instead of going with Nate, she went with George. Pretty much like throughout the year, she has felt that their friendship has gone like a little bit strained and a little bit more not like how it used to be. Like obviously we know because George likes her, but she is kind of confused. And on top of that, the fact that like her ex-fiance just drop her off in the middle of nowhere like that, she's just confused, broken, and very just sad, and she wants to wallow. And then George was like, "Okay, let's go to the honeymoon. I have a plan to fix you right back up." And yeah, so they went to this 7-day long trip to Tofino, and everything changed. And I really love the idea of like slow burn, because she was 30. This is 22 years of slow burn. The main thing I really love about any kind of books is that I love the slow burn aspect of whatever plot we're dealing with. So just knowing that it has gone for so long, I just really like the build up, and the ending is always like quite satisfying. That's why with contemporary romances, I think I really like childhood friends to lovers, because it is a little bit of like slow burn romance in a way. So I do really love this. So yeah, found finally another 6-star this year, and I am currently also reading Anne of Avonlea. I'm going to talk a bit more in the outro, which I hope to film tonight, but we're actually following Anne. She's 17, so pretty much we're just following Anne through her season of life. She's teaching at her old school, and she has to prove to her students that she is good and she's not just like, but yeah, I really love seeing the adventure that Anne is going through. Although Anne is not as like whimsical and childish, and like childish in a good sense, as Anne of Green Gables, the first book, I still love seeing how she is growing up and still incorporating a little bit of that whimsiness. Sometimes she really just go full ham on like a very whimsy scenario, and I really love that about Anne. And I love that she kept her whimsiness, and I love that in a way she's quite vain, and that she really cared about certain things that made her, I feel like, very whimsical. I don't know what example I can show you right now, but that was really like distinct feeling that I get, that is that she's so whimsical to the point of, no, she's so vain and the point that it gets quite whimsical in a way. I don't know. And there's a lot of talk about dryad, fairies, whether they exist, rock people, whatever. I feel like her teaching kids as well made her quite whimsical, because she wants to show the kids that it's okay to be whimsical. Anyway, I probably rambled on for too long because I haven't talked to you for 4 days straight. But yeah, really enjoying the books that I'm reading recently. I will try my best to finish all this, like I said, and give you an update tonight and round off this vlog. So yeah, I'm gonna be here reading my books, and I will catch you probably later tonight. Do not mind how I look right now. I know I do be looking rough right now, but it is currently 11:22, so it is quite late. But I'm here to update you that I am finally done with the 2 books, which is so crazy to think that I finished 2 books in a day. Partly because I'm sick, I got nothing else to do. I had a little to-do list that I had to do today for the wedding. I did that, but other than that, I do not have anything to do. So yeah, I finished 2 books. I do not have the cover anymore because I already chose the next book I'm gonna read on the Kindle, but that's for a different vlog. But I finished All the Missing Pieces, which was a reread. Can tell you the premise a little bit. We are following our main character Ridley, who had like quite a traumatic background, as all Catherine Cowell's main characters are. She lost her twin sister to a serial killer. And then the male main character of the book is Cold, whose sister is the first victim of the serial killer, but she survived. And she's a podcaster, and she goes to this town to interview, like to just get to know and figure out and solve this murder, this crime, I guess, because he has not just committed 2 crimes or 2 attempted murder slash murder. He was, I think, 23 in the beginning. At the end, it's a different number, but 23. So that is pretty much the story, I think. So Ridley was a podcaster, and Colt, like I said, the sister was Emmy, and Emmy went through all that, but he is also the sheriff of this small town called Shady Cove. I love the small town aspect of it. I forgot who the proprietor was, and after finding it out the second time, I was still quite shocked. Was I as shocked as the first time? No, because I do kind of like know that it was quite unexpected. So I know whoever it is, I already know that was unexpected. So I'm not as mind blown. But I'm excited for her newest release slash new release to come, which was, I think it's called Into the Fading Twilight. The second book in a new series. I have the first book here. Enjoyed it. I really liked it. I think if this was my first Catherine Cowell's book, I think I would have been so obsessed, but this is probably my 16th, 17th book. So I feel like it's a copy paste. Meanwhile, All the Missing Pieces, it's a standalone, so it feels very like rounded and not as like copy paste like her other books. So anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. It was a reread and I really enjoyed it. But now moving to Anne of Avonlea, I just finished this approximately like 5 minutes ago. I loved it. I really thought that this book would go differently, because in the first book there was a prospect of romance at the end of the book, but it did not really happen in this book, which I know it will happen in the next book, which is Anne of the Island. Let me just grab the book real quick. It is Anne of the Island. But yeah, as you guys can see, the cover is definitely not summer-esque. I think this was meant to be summer coded, or maybe Anne of Green Gables supposed to be. But I'm just gonna read this out of season. I am loving the series, and I know there will be romance in this book. And I'm kind of sad because this book, she is still in Avonlea, but in the next book, Anne of the Island, we are leaving Avonlea. And I'm quite sad because I do love the nature descriptions that L.M. Montgomery has in her books. And I really love the picture of Avonlea. And I'm kind of sad that we're moving away. But at the same time, I'm excited for the romance that is about to unravel. Yeah, but pretty much she's going away to Redmond, is it? Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for this. Actually, guys, I'm gonna put this as... I might want to read this very soon. There is a love triangle. I do not love love triangles, but I think this could be quite interesting. She will be going to uni, going to a different city to pursue uni. But I already know who I'm rooting for. So, yeah. If you guys have not read any of these books, there will probably be slight spoilers whenever I talk about it, because it's hard to talk about epilogues of books without really mentioning the characters. And obviously, if I said a romance is brewing, probably in the next book they'll be together. and I'll be mentioning the main character. So anyway, I don't know what I'm rambling about, guys. It's as if I'm done with Out of the Island. I'm not. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming along with me in this vlog. This vlog is a little bit chaotic because I filmed it, I think, in a span of either 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I'm pretty sure that I did not follow any of the TBR that I set out. But also at the same time, I know that I'm in a reading slump, so I'm just gonna pick up books that I'm just in the mood to read instead of like setting a strict TBR, which I am happy to report that I'm out of it, and I'm just so excited to read all the books that I have accumulated. And I know there's a book haul in here as well, so I'm gonna need to minimize my TBR again, because I actually did so well this year not buying any books, and then all of a sudden I bought 9-10 books in one go, and then obviously not so good anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna try and read more from my physical TBR in July, but also at the same time I need to keep in mind that in August I do love to do this kind of like readathon-ish following my name. And my name is not just Tasha, but it's also Natasha, and I will need to look for appropriate books that starts with with the initials of my name. Anyway, I know I didn't get to 2 books. I'm not sure what I put in the TBR, but I know this was in it. Don't worry, I'm gonna be reading this in my next vlog. Don't you worry. But also, another thing I would love to read next vlog is the Crescent City series. I feel like this looks so summery as well. And the thing with urban fantasy, it does not feel like a wintry book for me. Although most fantasy books feel wintry to me. Anyway, does not matter. I just want to thank you guys again for coming along with me in this chaotic vlog, getting out of the reading slump. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in my next one with hopefully a vlog of reading a lot of romanticies / fantasy, because again, I'm in the mood for the genre change. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in my next one. Goodbye!